Alright, so our opponent brought up that pimps would become more prominent if brothels were legalized. We're not legalizing the pimps on the street. We're legalizing licensed brothels where either madames, so women, are in charge of the women, or men that they feel are legally responsible to be in charge of the women, because this is still, it's under state rule and they have to be checked and everything like that. And they said that prostitution will increase sex trafficking. They found that prostitution will actually decrease sex trafficking in a study by John Haltenwanger, who's has a PhD in economics, studies that 30 million victims of human trafficking around the world. More than half of the victims, 55%, are women or girls, and in 2001, Germany legalized sex work. Over the course of the next 10 years, instances of sex-based human trafficking decreased by 10% within the county. So in Germany, where it is legal, over the course of 10 years, 10% of sex trafficking dropped. By that number, the percent may not seem that big, but out of the women and children and people who are in sex work, that's a lot of people getting out of human trafficking. Also, with the ability to have law enforcement not focus so much on catching prostitutes or people in just prostitution, they have more time to go and focus on actual sex trafficking. They also mentioned that brothels are, they're still just not, they're not as safe as we said they were, and they're probably just as worse as pimps, and they would end up back on the street, which would be better than being in a brothel. However, women that are actually forced by pimps, they're beaten, they're sometimes locked in tiny cages or hidden attics. Some are forced to have sex with as many as 20 men a day, and if they're not, pimps usually beat them up. If they are in legal brothels, they are protected by law again, so they're not as, when it's protected by law, they're not afraid to go and tell law enforcement what's happening if something did happen behind closed doors. Like he said, that we don't usually know what happens behind closed doors, so, but when it does, they're more reluctant to talk to cops. They said that they gave a story on the Nevada brothels and how they're worse than being on the street. A source in the New York Times company wrote that in legal brothels, employees report that they feel safe. So they're free to come and go and bound by their contract. Of brothel workers, we survived 84%. They say their job, they felt safe. Workers report that they felt safe largely because of the police. Employers and co-workers were there to protect them. Our research found that women came to legal brothels from a wide variety of situations, either off the street, they're trying to pay for their kids, they're trying to just earn money and stay off from being homeless. Some were supplementing low-paying service jobs, some were escaping hustler and danger, illegal sex work, and some were looking to ways to supplement erotic dancing and film careers. So although they believe that it is worse than working on the streets, prostitutes on the streets, I said before that 60 to 80% of the women are beaten or raped, and it's hard for them to go to the police if it's illegal.